Good morning, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the newspaper review for today. Of course, it's a judgment day for Atiku Abubakar and President Muhammadu Buhari as tribunal delivers their verdict today. I am Charles Philip Wakolam, and if you stick with this station, I'll give you all the updates as recorded in the dailies today. I shall begin with the Vanguard newspaper. The leading story there says bailouts. Pressure on states as federal government starts deduction. Courts 2020 budget projections to 9.789 trillion naira. Courts 2020 budget projections to 9.789 trillion naira. Reduces capital expenditure to 2 trillion naira. Says fiscal challenges requires bold, decisive actions. Story is on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper. If you check the diagram below, that leading headline is the graph of top 10 state indebtedness to federal government. Alright, beside the diagram, Atiku versus Buhari, anxiety as tribunal delivers judgment today, page 8. I'll treat Boko Haram as bandits, says Buhari, page 9. Bottom strip stories, IMN claims 12 killed as police disperse members on street procession, no casualty, page 8. AAC petition court rules Friday, page 12. And on page 41, how I stopped Jonathan from giving life pension immunity to National Assembly members, coming from Adoke. Okay, page 6, abducted maths professor murdered in Ondo. Abducted maths professor murdered in Ondo. Let's move above the masthead. First batch of 320 Nigerians back from South Africa today, pages 9 and 15. Ohaneze asks Southeast governors to prepare for returnees. Okay, CBN slams penalties for delayed e-payment transactions. Slams penalties for delayed e-payment transactions, page 19. That's the last story from the Vanguard newspaper. I move over to the New Telegraph. 2019 polls, judgment day for Buhari and Atiku. PDP holds 12-day fasting prayer sessions. President supporters warn against intimidation. Pages 4, 11, 34 and 35. And the two pictures are pictures of the IMN members during their procession yesterday in Kaduna and Abuja. Police, Shiites clash as sects hold procession. IMN says 3 of our members killed, while police says it's a lie. Page 8. If you go to page 6, a study research report there, coffee reduces risk of developing gallstones. Let's move up above the leading headline. FG generates 2 trillion naira revenue, spends 3.3 trillion naira in 6 months, page 4. Hoodlums attack Fayemi's wife's convoy as varsity students protest. That story is on page 9. On page 2, court orders final for future of Diezani's $40 million jewelry to federal government. Xenophobia, 320 Nigerians returned from South Africa today. Okay, above the masthead, federal government begins deduction of 614 billion naira loan to states start from September. Proposes 9.7 trillion naira for 2020 budget. Debt service to go up 2.4 trillion naira. CBN unveils regulation on e-payments of salaries, pensions and others. Page 29. Okay, that's the last on the front page of New Telegraph. Over to the Nation newspaper. Federal government proposes 9.789 trillion naira budget for 2020, and an inside story says Tribunal decides Atiku's petition against Buhari for today. Get that on page 44. The picture still shows Shiite procession, this one in Abuja yesterday. Police Shiites in war of words over killings during procession, page 8. Bottom strip story there. Ex-Chief Justice quizzed over $9.6 billion contract verdict. Detectives debrief 3 senior lawyers. NNPC subsidiaries chief interrogated. Abducted Ondo Dawn found dead. Page 5. Nigeria's #1 site Google in trouble. Page 2. Okay, above the masthead, Diazani forfeits 14.4 billion naira jewelry to federal government. Items acquired in 2012. Get the details on page 41. Ajimobi Adeyeye lose at tribunal. Yayi Oji Gobi win. Page 41 as well. On page 42, FBI combs Nigeria for $1.2 billion cyber fraudsters. EFCC arrests 167. Okay, let's go to Leadership newspaper. Leadership newspaper. CBN orders private public firms to pay salaries, taxes, pensions electronically. That story starts from the front page, continues on page 5. 4 killed in fresh IMN police clash. Get the details on page 16. The leading story says presidential poll, anxiety in APC. PDP as tribunal delivers judgment today. Verdict will reflect the will of Nigerians, coming from Presidential Support Committee. On the other hand, PDP holds prayer session. PMB decries politicization of insecurity, says millions of Nigerians suffering because of corruption. Okay, the bottom strip stories. Federal government begins deduction of 614 billion naira budget support funds from states. Page 25. Court orders final forfeiture of Diazani's $40 million jewelry to federal government. Get the details on page 6. Oshibajo flags off National Livestock Transformation Plan. Page 2. UK, Canadian firms to invest $1 billion in Nigeria's modular refinery. Page 28. Khan applauds federal government's stance on same-sex marriage. Page 6. And finally, on the Leadership newspaper, EFCC, FBI recover 92 million naira, $169,850 from Yahoo boys. Page 16. Okay, and from there we move over to the Blueprint newspaper. Okay, what does it say? The leading story still on the tribunal judgment today for Atiku and President Buhari. Get the details on page 6. And if you look at the big picture there, Yobe State Governor Mai Mala Buni by the left, and the United Nations Development Program country representative Mohamed Yahaya during the UN officials' visit to the governor at the Yobe Governor's Lodge in Abuja. yesterday, Tuesday. Bottom strip stories. Reps summon Emefiele, NDDC boss over abandoned projects. Page 6. Xenophobia. First batch of 320 Nigerians will return today, says envoy. Page 6. On page 7, court orders final for future of Dezani's $40 million jewelry. Man throws 4-month-old son into Niger River. Wow. Page 16. Okay. 3 feared killed as Shiites police clash in Kaduna and Bauchi. Page 6. Let's move up. Above the leading headline, Nigeria's security politicized, says President Buhari. The details can be found on the front page and continues on page 6. Federal government to review waivers for investors, page 34. The story by the side of the masthead. Access Bank recovers 14 billion naira bad loans, page 34. Amnesty. Katsina government exchanges 6 bandits for 20 abductees. Katsina government exchanges 6 bandits for 20 abductees, page 13. And with that last story, I move straight to the Nigerian Tribune. Starting from the top, Ajimobi, Adeyeye lose, Balogun, Olujimi, Buhari win at tribunal. And coming down just below the masthead, court orders final for future of Dezani's $40 million worth of jewelry. Page 29 on the Nigerian Tribune. Kidnapped professor of Ondo Varsity found dead. Page 30. Over 1,400 killed in by gunmen within 6 months in Nigeria. That's according to UN. Get the details on page 7. And the leading headline says 614 billion naira bailout fund. FG to begin deduction this month to stop salaries not linked to IPPIS from October. Plans 9.78 trillion naira total budget for 2020. African Continental Free Trade Area may be a nightmare. Firemis wife's convoy attacked, 1 feared killed. Page 9. Niger Republic bans rice exportation to Nigeria. Page 7. Lebanese murdered, dumped inside well in Lagos. My God, suspected. Okay, that's on page 30. And the pictures of Atiku and Buhari with the caption, Presidential Election Tribunal decides Buhari Atiku's fate today. Page 4. Okay, incidentally, that's the last story on the front page of Nigerian Tribune. We'll pause here a bit and go on a short commercial. We shall be back with sports stories. Welcome back to the second segment of this program, which is the sports pages. The sports stories are on pages 45 and 46 of the Vanguard newspaper. I'll be starting from page 45. Stories from the international scene. Ronaldo is the highest paid Serie A player. Talking about Cristiano Ronaldo of Juventus. Okay, the story below, his picture, Madrid Levante. Eden Hazard and James Rodriguez may just return for this match over the weekend. They just might be ready to go. Drinkwater will not be punished by Chelsea after the midfielder, who is currently on loan at Burnley, was thrown out of a China White club in Manchester 10 days ago. He was attacked by a group of men while drunk outside the Manchester nightclub. But story says Chelsea will leave any act of punishment to his club where he is on loan. Okay, Abraham, racist abuse left my mom in tears. Talking about Chelsea striker Tammy Abraham, revealing that his mother was reduced to tears when he suffered a racist abuse. Okay, Manchester United stick to £179 million price tag for Pogba. Manchester United stick to £179 million price for Pogba. Lastly on this page, Ramos to win a 5th Champions League would be crazy. Saying the Real Madrid defender Sergio Ramos. Okay, let's go to the page of 46. Page 46 has stories on the local scene. Nigeria's Olympic team spank Sudan 5-0. Breeze into CAF Under-23 Championship. Champions League, Oshoala makes Barca squad to Juventus. So the Nigerian international Azizat Oshoala has been included in Barcelona's 18-woman squad for their 2019-2020 Women's Champions League round of 32 tie, and it will be against Juventus in Turin. We wish her all the best there. Fenerbahce set to cancel Moses' loan. Okay, the story of the Nigerian Victor Moses in Fenerbahce might just come to an end after the club wouldn't want to meet the wages required by Moses, the 75,000 a week wages being demanded by Moses, coupled with the money to purchase him. So he just might be returning to Chelsea. Kano slams Arsenal for selling Iwobi. And CAF Confederations Cup, Rangers not under pressure, says Odita. Edo picks first judo gold as youth games begin. And finally, that's a picture of Onikon Stadium in Lagos. Why Onikon Stadium is not ready, says Lagos State Sports Commission. And with that last story, we draw the curtain on the newspaper for today's edition. Let's hope for the best on today's tribunal judgment. We shall meet again on Friday. Bye for now.